Child, you have not known low down until you sung my song. Did you ever hear a dog wail? Did you ever hear a hound moan? Well, listen here. Hear my story, and I'm going to tell it to you. Steady, slow. A story told with steps. A story told with tired feet. A story told with tired bones. I'm going to tell the story with my guitar so that you don't forget, so that you know how it goes. Dog tired, that's me. This story begins with shoes. This story is all for true. This story walks and walks and walks to the blues. December 1st, 1955, when the blues came to call. The same day, Jim Crow flew in waving his bony wings. Bony wings and all. Jim Crow landed with a will. Yes, he did, child. Yes, he did. Jim Crow was segregation. Laws that said that black people and white people could not mix. And on that day, it was Rosa Parks who got Jim Crow's peck right up close. Now, Rosa Parks was a seamstress who worked at the Montgomery Fair department store. On that blue as blue evening, Rosa's workday ended like any other. She stepped onto the Cleveland bus and paid her dime to ride. And the bus was packed tight. But Rosa spotted an empty seat one row behind the white-only section. So Rosa, she sat down. Now, when the bus pulled up at the Empire Theater, several white people got on. And all but one of them found seats. The last one was left standing. And that's when Jim Crow showed up, strutting. Whenever Jim Crow got to laying down a letter of the law to the state of segregation, he did it with his peck. And on this day, Jim Crow's peck was a duet. He was letting it fly with the bus driver, who, along with Jim Crow, stood over Rosa Parks and told her to give up her seat to a white man who was still standing. Even with that blue-black wing pressed at Rosa's nose, even with the bus driver's finger waving at Rosa, even with Jim Crow's peck, sounding like the rust on a bed spring, Rosa stayed seated. Now twice the bus driver told Rosa to move, and twice she looked at him without blinking. Then she turned her eye to Jim Crow, and all she said was, "No! You're breaking my law," Jim Crow crooned. And the bus driver said he called the police, and Rosa told them to go ahead. Yeah, so you know, the police arrested Rosa and they took her to jail. But Rosa's friend, E.D. Nixon, raised money for Rosa's bail. He got her released and told Rosa if she were brave enough, she could stop out Jim Crow. If she could break those bony wings, she could stop Jim Crow's peck, peck, peck. She could help end segregation. Rosa agreed right away. And on December 5th, 1955, black people in town stopped riding the city buses, and they were protesting the treatment that Rosa had received. That night, at the Hope Street Baptist Church, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King spoke to the people of Montgomery. And child, I had put my doggy tail in that church every Sunday, but I ain't never seen so many folk at the church. People came from all around to hear the young Dr. King speak. And he said, fight until justice runs down like a mighty stream. Amen. Yes, and fight we did. We fought a quiet fight. We fought with no slingshots and no weapons, not even our spitballs. We fought with our feet. And we said, if you don't, we won't. And if you don't let us ride in any seat we wish, we won't ride at all. And if you don't treat us fairly, we won't pay the fare. And if we don't pay the fare, you won't have any business. And we won't let that Jim Crow smack us with his bony wings. Or slow us down with his peck, peck, peck. We won't. And we stood by our word, child. Yes, we did. Child, yes, we did. Amen. And we got to walk it. I am determined to walk in freedom. Yes, I am. I am determined to walk in freedom. Yes, I am. Through all trials, tribulations, persecutions, I am determined. I am determined to walk in freedom. Yes, I am. And that's when we took our feet to the streets, to the sidewalks, to the roads. That's when the city buses rolled and rolled. Nearly empty they rolled. That's when the boycott blues truly began. When we walked with doggy feet, with dog-tired feet, with boycott feet, with boycott blues. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Days passed and we kept on. 100 days gone and we stayed strong. We walked in the rain, we did. Walked night and day, we did. Walked for our fight, we did. Yes, we did, child, yes, we did. Days, 130, 150, walk to work we did, walk to school we did, walk to church we did. Yes, child, we did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Days of walking, turned our beat to a deep blue shade of determination, we found a way out of no way. We found other modes to get to where we need to go. Soon, instead of only walking, we rode. Rode with our friends, we did. Rode with kind strangers, we did, yes. And rode past those empty buses, we did. We did. Yes, child, we did. Didn't step a foot on the bus either. No, sir, we didn't. Wouldn't pay a dime for our ride either. We got to where we needed to go. We stood by Rosa Parks for saying no. But Jim Crow, he was determined. He kept up his bony wings and his peck. 200 days later, we were still going, losing on. We pressed on. But it wasn't all black folks now boycotting. Some white folks came along for the ride too, to show us support, to help end Jim Crow. So there were all kinds of people keeping going with their feet, with can't stop us feet. There were black folks and white folks with the boycott blues. And time walked on and on. Day 220, day 262, 300 days of boycott. But you know, as strong as we were, some wanted to quit. And child, I can't say I blame them. After all, when you've been walking from December to November, a bus begins to look like a pretty sweet temptation. Even if it means riding in the back. Even if Jim Crow's sitting in your lap. When I saw somebody start to go down that road, when I heard somebody say, "What's the use? I'm paying my dime to ride." I played my guitar as loud as I could to drown out Jim Crow's peck, to stir up a rhythm worth following, to somehow soften those boycott blues. Just a few more steps and we're there. I strummed my message loud and clear. The Supreme Court invited Jim Crow in for a visit. And waved the gavel on his bony wings. The judge in the courthouse said, "Jim, you're all wrong." Right then, Jim Crow grew tired. His bony wings started to ache. His peck began to lose its point. Oh, child, it was a happy day. You know, November 13, 1956, when the Supreme Court struck down the segregation laws, the bus drivers of Montgomery, Alabama were forced to say,
We will let black people sit wherever they want on the bus. We will not practice segregation anymore.
Hey. And the black folks of Montgomery said, we will pay our dime. We will ride with pride. We will sit at the front of a bus and enjoy our view of justice. And on December 21st, 1956, the law was official. Soon after, black folks had a seat on the front row, right behind the driver, and so did Rosa Parks. That was day 382 when Jim Crow flew away. He had no more power in Montgomery. It was the blues that got us through. It was the blues that helped our stride. Because blue is a so fine color when it's painting the sky. Blue is the possibility when it's coming on at dawn. Blue is all the beauty when it's flowing like a sea of hope. Now, segregation was a loser's crew. And child, we rejoiced. Our low-down tune changed to a celebration song. No, child, that's the end of my tale. Now you see how it goes. Now you see the power of the Won't Stop Blues. Now you know the story of the Boycott Blues. Turn the heart home, bony wings adieu. Heck, 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 huh. Later for you. Bye-bye. Boycott Blues.